Hello out there, world. Hello, Mongoose conservation friends. It's author the Meerkat Man, the Mongoose Man, Grant Malcolm McIlrath, here in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve of the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project. And I have been with the dominant female, the world-famous superstar yellow mongoose, cynictispenicillata species. And this is Walk with Wildlife Animal Adventures. She has been checking smellogram, SMSs, send short message systems. I hope you've had a beautiful Valentine's Day yesterday. Here we are at the Meerkat Mansion Research Base. This is not a tourism site. It is close to the public. It's a private reserve. However, sponsors can check out the details in my comments, various videos, to find out how they can become supporters, which entitles them to visit. It's basically like a passport. Wildlife research biologists, film crews, and sponsors who know our work can visit the area. We do not take people into the area who don't know what they are going to see in advance, because it is a very sensitive research area where the animals are only accustomed to certain observers, making certain sounds, NLP, neuro-linguistic programming, etc. This entitles you as a supporter to come through and visit me in South Africa if you are in the area. And let me know in advance. You can check out the details in the comments. Thank you so much, everyone, for all the likes, subscribes, and shares. I do appreciate it. Here you can see we have now returned. I will be uploading the 3 videos from earlier as we walked around part of the reserve in some of the very secretive wildlife highways. The great news is, and welcome out there, the dominant female that you're currently watching is heavily pregnant. She has not yet given birth, but it could be any time now from today through to the next week and a half or so. All right, she's busy checking all of the different wildlife hotels. Welcome, everyone. I hope you're having a beautiful day, no matter where you are around the world, and that you had a great Valentine's Day yesterday. Of course, this is Walk with Wildlife, Mongoose Magic Moments. Currently, the dominant female is in one of the famous wildlife hotels next to one of our water features. Let's see what it's like to get down to mongoose eye level. Yeah. Yes. She's inside the lovely cool pipe. And that is because we have only just returned to this area after a few kilometers of walking. As a wildlife research biologist, it's really important to understand that animals work on a wildlife schedule. After being out in the heat, she's just going to cool down in one of these lovely pipe systems we've built here for her. And a big welcome to everyone. And a special thank you to our supporters. There I can see her. Yes. Associazione Suricates Italia. The president of there, then we're going to zoom in and you'll be able to see her now. Yeah, look at those eyes. You're getting an unprecedented view of a wild yellow mongoose. I have followed her adventures since she was born in November 2018. Once she's cooled down in these lovely insulated pipe systems, she will come out again. So until then, I'll just wait and see what's happening. Of course, being a wildlife research biologist means you need to have a lot of patience. Animals work on their own schedules. They do not care what humans are doing when it comes to calendars, alarms, and priorities for us. Please do drop a like, subscribe, and share, and follow the adventures. Yes. You might not be able to see her easily here. I'm going to go a bit closer. It's very, very tricky because this pipe is very dark. Of course, I'm wearing my world famous shoes. There we go. The very broken up shoes. You can see there. Oh, look at that stylish fashion I've got there. Yeah, these are shoes that are unique. All right, let's zoom in there. Because they have the scent mark of the Ungulungu Meerkats and the Tsebokolodi yellow mongooses on them. Yes. Yeah. Lovely and cool. She's only 10 centimeters into that pipe. Tsebokolodi. It amuses me because now that I start doing a live stream, she's returned to the base after being active all morning, scent marking everything. Yeah, let's walk around here for a bit while we're waiting for her to become more active, which she will do again. She usually only has a siesta for a few minutes once she returns to the area after her great expeditions. So this is a wildlife hotel over here. And this is the newly built one. I spent the entire day yesterday building it. For those viewers who are familiar with our work, you will know that myself and Alessia Torchini from Associazione Suricates Italia, and of course, President Asia Chile have built other extensions, but this pipe used to be an open pipe. Now it has a very large room added into it, made out of steel. I've added concrete to it with bricks for extra thick insulation and a very thick nylon shade netting cover. And then very rich nitrogen soils. Now I've got over 85 images and videos that I made over yesterday, so I will be editing that to let you all see it in the future. But it's lovely and cool beneath the tree. She's already been in here this morning. I'll just show you the other entrance. Yeah, I moved hundreds of kilograms of sand. All right. Let's head back that way. So, all around our wildlife hotels, there you can see one of the next tubes that will be buried with various hotels added onto them, chambers. There are two there. There's another chamber, and there's the entrance. So that's a very big extension. And all of those need to have extra chambers built onto them. Ticky, 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 tick, tick. Ticky, 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 tick, tick. Just letting her know, familiar sounds. I can still see her there. Ah, there we go. Just getting active again. Yes. Tsebokolodi. For those who are patient enough, you will be rewarded and you'll get to see her. Yes. And she's just staying out of the heat for now. Tsebokolodi. Tsebokolodi. Champ champ. Welcome to Mongoose Magic Moments, friends. Thank you for the like. I do appreciate it. Please let me know where you are watching from. Please do subscribe and follow the life adventures of our wonderful wildlife. It's time to give you a bit of information about myself. I'm a professional nature conservationist. I was qualified in 1993. I spent 7 years in the Kalahari Desert working with large animal research group in Cambridge University, Britain, LARG. That was a scent mark from our dominant female superstar, an SSMS, scent short message system, smellogram. A quick shout out to Elon Musk, Mark Zuckerberg, technocrats. Yes, humans often think we are very clever, but compared to wildlife, we have a great deal to learn. nature's classroom. Of course, wildlife have been posting on social media long before we even thought of social media. Ah, good to see you. Thank you for dropping a comment. Leonard 9692. There's some unusual names, so I will just read them out as I see the comments. Bohol PH. All right. We get a lot of friends from India. Please let me know where you are from. Thank you for the likes. I do appreciate it. Our mangusta. Yeah, Masont. A quick shout out to all of our international friends. Buon mattina. Good morning to our Italian friends. Goeiemorgen allemaal. Good morning to our Afrikaans friends in South Africa, of course, and around the world. Hujambo, Sijambo, habari yako, mzuri sana, asante sana, safari njema, our Swahili friends. Dumela, Dumela, likai riteng wanukai. Our Sotho friends, Dumelang, Uchuhiliang. Our Tswana friends, Konnichiwa. Our Japanese friends, Sawubona unjani, gikhona wena unjani, kuhle Ghakhulu. Our Zulu friends. There are over 12 official languages in South Africa, the last I checked, and I always like to emphasize that because I don't want to leave anyone out. Please do feel welcome to ask your questions in any language in the comment section, because I will Google translate it and get back to you. There are over 1,600 videos right now. You can check on the channel. We have exceeded 2 million views, and that's a big shout out and a thank you to you. Ah, hi from Rome. I love Manch as well. Thank you so very much, David 9181. I appreciate that. You're indeed fortunate to be in such a beautiful part of the world. And please do send us some of your rain from Italy. I believe you've been having some serious floods. Yeah. Viterbo is being flooded out. Let's have a closer look at our beautiful film star. There you can just see as I go down to eye level with her. Of course, it's difficult for new viewers to get a full understanding of what we are actually seeing here, but this is a wild yellow mongoose. I have followed her since November 2018, and I have protected her family in the Meerkat Magic Valley Reserve here in South Africa all the way since 2008. This family is world famous. They are the most famous mongooses in history, and that is a fact. You can Google check it as well. Simply ask Google about Tsebokolodi Yellow Mongoose Group. They are all over the internet. And they were even in a BMW film, BMW Meerkats Unscripted, Mongooses Unscripted. That's what it should be called, but it was simply called BMW Unscripted. 5 short films done about BMW owners. I used my BMWs as mobile hides for the wildlife I worked with. Both vehicles were in the film, and it was watched by millions of viewers from around the world in 2010 because it was on the Super Bowl big screens. Anyway, her mother was in that film, and the Ungulungu meerkats, the most famous meerkats that I've protected since 2001, are also in that. As you can see, our beautiful mongoose film star is currently sleeping. She is pregnant. Please do send me the names, the bambini. No, come up with the names and drop them in the comments. We've had quite a few suggestions, but time is running out. I will be selecting the names because she could give birth any day now. That's why she's so tired. She's still moving around her territory a lot. She's super sensitive as I stand up slowly. I'm letting her know where I'm at all times. Just to give you an idea, here I am right here. Hello world. So, yes. Within a moment's time, she will look away again. There we go. Please do not be deceived into thinking I cannot destroy this very sensitive trust with a moment of bad judgment. And that is why, after spending decades working with wild meerkats and wild yellow mongoose, amongst other animals, that is how the BBC, National Geographic, and Discovery Channel is able to bring you our incredible films that we have done together. And you get to see the up close and personal aspects that you would never get to see unless you're with a wildlife research biologist. Sir David Attenborough has experienced our work in the Kalahari Desert, as has Nick Stringer from National Geographic. A shout out to Simon King, Big Cat Diaries, and BBC Meerkats and Natural World. We did that work together. You'll check the film credits if you would like to see more details there. And then, of course, Nigel Marvin from Discovery Channel, our Meerkat adventure with myself and him in the film. So these are all many generations later, but our work is ongoing here in the reserve. Currently, the main focus is creating additional habitat for animals, such as this beautiful mongoose who previously lost her home. Many different animals have lost their homes due to plowing and housing projects, which just destroy areas by removing the sleeping areas. Many people are unaware that there are any animals there in the first place, but these wildlife hotels could extend for thousands of years. We don't even know the exact details, except that they are inherited from one generation to the next. I discuss this in detail in my Meerkats book from 2016. You can pick up a copy at any good university and library around the world. Please notice our beautiful bird species coming to visit the wildlife hotel and drink. This area of water is here because I dug this up using a sharp rebar over many, many years. And I keep this wildlife water feature full of water, even during the drought that we are currently still experiencing. Those beautiful clouds I live streamed a few days ago, unfortunately did not deliver any rainfall here. Although there has been flooding in other areas of South Africa, the Little Karoo, the Klein Karoo, where we are now, remains parched. The reason we are seeing birds such as that very secretive one arrive here is because the mongoose is not making any alarms. They are all part of the neighborhood watch, which means if one animal makes an alarm, others will react. And of course, conversely, if an animal is not making an alarm, the others do not react. In the distance, I can hear Sprio bicolor, pied starling, and she's reacting to that briefly. That was not an alarm call from the pied starling. I can hear Placius vellatus now, the masked weaver. When you are in the neighborhood, as I have been since 2008 here on the reserve, every sound is something that you learn to recognize, because just like the animals I am with, it's all about interspecies communication. I study animal psychology, associative learning. Psychologists, professionals who have visited me over the years to see the wildlife I work with call it NLP, or neuro-linguistic programming. Please let me know if you are familiar with this. And for those viewers who are return viewers, I hope you have been practicing with the animals that you might know, cats and dogs, practicing some of the sounds that I've been making on various videos, tests, like tick, 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 tick. There you can see her eyes opening slightly. Yeah, she recognizes all of these sounds, and these are only a few. There are many others. And here's a more complicated one. Perhaps you could try this. 3, 2, 1. That's where the BBC gave me the nickname the Meerkat Man, because I'm the interpreter of the behaviors and sounds of the meerkats that we worked with since 1993. I was telling you about Cambridge University Large Animal Research Group and the University of Pretoria in South Africa Mammal Research Institute, MRI. After spending 7 years in the desert, which is an extremely difficult place to live, I can assure you, up to the northwest of South Africa, the border of Botswana and Namibia, I set up the Meerkat Magic Conservation Project in 2001. In 2008, I was able to purchase this reserve, which is a private reserve. However, you can come through and visit me here. Check the comments for details. Our film star is, oh, look at that beautiful stretch. Wow, you are lucky to see that. That is super rare. Tsebokolodi. Yes, it's a good time to talk about anatomy while we can see her up close like this. They don't have the very dark eye masks like the meerkat or the suricate has, Suricate, but they do have eyeliners, as I call them. So not the built-in sunglasses, but these are the equivalent of sunglasses, because the yellow mongoose is active during the daytime. They are diurnal. You might be thinking, well, that's pretty obvious because we're watching her. However, they are also crepuscular, active at dawn and dusk, and nocturnal. Now, if you do a Google search for yellow mongoose, cynictispenicillata, you'll find that Google is incorrect and AI is incorrect. Yes, because they go, oh, yellow mongoose diurnal. That is not correct. It is only partially true. The yellow mongoose has a horizontally slitted pupil, golden brown yellowy eyes. They don't have the round pupil like the meerkats, which means they are highly adaptable to different lighting conditions. And I have seen yellow mongoose active at 2 and 3 o'clock in the morning. They will even be active when it is raining, because they have very fine hair, almost like that of a cat. It's more like fur. So they can be active even when it is raining outside, when meerkats will be completely inactive, because if a meerkat gets wet, they could die of hypothermia in the wild, because they have very little hair on the undersides of their bodies. Their hair is more like a dog's hair. Now, I can feel my foot is starting to cook. The temperature on the ground here is easily over 42 degrees centigrade right now. Yeah, it's a furnace out here. Let me give you an idea. For those who watched the live stream recently, you may have seen all of the clouds, but this is typically how it is here. There's not even a cloud in sight. Yeah. Brilliant cobalt dome. The temperatures can extend over 50 degrees centigrade. Beautiful. Our film star is out and about. There you can see her very thin paper-like ears, 5 nails on the front paw, short nails. They are non-retractile like a cheetah. Many people think, oh, cats all have retractile nails. Not so with a cheetah. Their nails are like that of a dog's. Yellow mongoose has 4 nails on the back feet, on each paw at least. So they are like a dog's. 5 on the front, 4 on the back. The meerkat has 4 on the front feet, 4 on the back feet. And the banded mongoose, the most sociable mongoose in the world, living in groups over 60 plus. I've worked with them in Queen Elizabeth Park, Uganda, back in 1997. It's an incredible area there. The Ruwenzori, the Virunga Mountains, and yeah, she's getting more active. Katunguru village. I was also fortunate enough to work with chimpanzee in the Kibale rainforest as a guest of the research biologist there. That's not the tourism area. It is closed to the public. It's great. She's coming out as she investigates the various smells, picks up various snacks in the area. There you can see the white tip to the tail. Very distinctive. And she's gone back deeper into the pipe. Yes, just a few centimeters, but she knows where it's lovely and cool. Even a few moments of being out in that furnace heat that I'm currently experiencing was enough for her. Back to the banded mongoose and the story I was telling you about anatomy. So they have 4 nails. That's the meerkats on the front and back. Yellow mongoose, 5 on the front, 4 on the back. Banded mongoose, 5 on the front, 5 on the back. Short nails and short nails, front and back. So the meerkat's front nails are the longest, sometimes being over 1 centimeter long. All right, let's see if we can get another view here. Of course, I like to bring you the truth. Yeah, you can decide for yourself. But there are no artificial intelligence lies. There are no so-called documentaries, predetermined post-scripting, sound edits. What you see is exactly what you get. And that is why I do these streams. As a professional nature conservationist, I like to give people the reality, conservation through education. So please do feel welcome to ask your questions. You can send me questions at any time. Just drop a comment. And please do encourage students from universities and schools to come ask a wildlife research biologist questions live. Yes. AI is full of lies and deception and creates a lot of nonsense content on the internet right now, and it is only going to get worse. And many people have seen these, and I have made some videos about this and challenged it because that is not real. And many people who see this information and then believe what they're watching is true are just wasting their time and acquiring no accurate information at all. There, can you see her sleeping? There we go. All right, it's time for another anatomy lesson. Very fine hairs cover her ears. The ears are very thin. They can lose heat very well. That is something I do not usually discuss. It's a form of thermoregulation, like with elephants. They can lose a lot of heat through the ears. The meerkat, the suricate, has a thick valve which can expand to seal off the ear canal completely. No other mongoose species on the planet has a thick, fleshy valve in the ear. You can quote me on that. And that is why it is incorrect to say the meerkat is a mongoose. That is a shout out to all the scientists out there still saying this because they're too lazy to explain, because I can't think of another reason for that, that the meerkat's closest living relatives are mongooses, the confusing plural, and genets and civets, but there's nothing else like them alive anymore. All right, so just another point. I've mentioned the ears. There are 35 species of mongooses around the world, give or take a few. It seems to vary. Yeah. All right. Just to put things in perspective there. I thought so. Yes, it's nearly time for the siesta to be over. Mongoose and meerkat have incredibly high metabolisms, and she is not alone. She is carrying the next generation of the Tsebokolodi yellow mongoose. Welcome, everyone. You're watching Mongoose Magic Moments with the world-famous dominant female, Ghakhulu. Cucciolina, Cenerentolla. Yes, Ghakhulu Zulu, a Zulu language. Cucciolina, little puppy in Italy, Italian. Cenerentola, Cinderella. You can name her future generations of babies that she's currently carrying that may be born in the next few weeks. Very excited about this. She has not had any babies survive since 2018 except for Squeaky Scoia'tael. There are videos of him, very famous. And since then, he has been the only yellow mongoose baby that she has managed to raise. But we are lucky she's coming out. See, my friends, if you're patient in wildlife research, you get to see unclouded reality. Please notice the white tip to the tail. Yes. She can go anywhere she likes. Of course, the reserve is huge. All around us, for many, 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 many kilometers is wilderness. She can go anywhere. All right, she's going into the newest wildlife hotel. Very excited to see her using it because it is newly built as of yesterday. I am still in agony from moving hundreds of kilograms of bricks and hundreds of kilograms of sand. There you can see the white tip to the tail. She's still investigating the scent. She needs to put in a lot of new SMSs, send short message systems. So when I create the making of this hotel, for those who've been watching, you will already know about this. I've taken over 68 different videos and images, so it's going to take me a long time to edit, but I will get round to that. But in the meantime, there's a buried tube system. There's one in the distance that will be the next wildlife hotel extension. And then there's a very beautiful steel chamber covered in cement, covered in bricks for extra insulation, and covered in a thick nylon weave called shade netting, and then covered in sand, which is highly fertile, nitrogen-rich soil. So she's left the one wildlife hotel to go straight into the other. Without even hesitating, she went there. And here's another one. And there's another one over there. They are all over this place, and we will be building hundreds and hundreds of them over the years. That is the plan, together with, and a special thank you to all of our members from Association of Suricates Italia, Associazione Suricati Italia, Asia Chile, and all the members there, and Alessia Torchini, who have visited the reserve. All right, I'm just going to let it film what's happening here, because at any moment now she could appear on the other side of this, which extends past the tree. I've built it underneath the shade of the tree. This is in fact the first wildlife hotel that I have created here without anybody else's help directly, building it. So it was very difficult. And the good news is it is already being used, as you can see. She's gone in without a hesitation. Yeah. She might be on the other side of the hotel, so let's go have a look. I've got some exciting news. We might be getting internet coverage to the Ungulungu Meerkats main sleeping burrow system, which is over 1 kilometer away from here at an undisclosed location. And there's one of the entrances to the hotel over there. All right, I'm just keeping an eye on this because she could come out of any one of these at any time. Of course, now is the time when many animals have a siesta. Thank you so much for your likes. I do appreciate that. Thanks for the comments. And please do make sure to turn on your notification bell icons if you don't want to miss a live stream, because there are no schedules except those of the wildlife. So I could be streaming at any time based on their activity periods. Already I can tell you are part of history because we are the only people who are watching a wild yellow mongoose, even though she's out of sight right now. But this stream, out of billions of people on the planet, and that's a fact. Yeah. Recently, we made wildlife history by filming the longest wildlife stream of a yellow mongoose species for over 1 hour, 30 minutes. And in December last year, we managed to film 4 baby meerkats coming up for the very first time. Just seeing if I can get a view. No, it's way too deep and dark at the moment. All right, friends, I'm going to end the stream now because after spending many hours and traveling many kilometers together, she's simply too hot. So I will stream another time, maybe in the afternoon when it's cooled down, or earlier in the morning. I hope you have a great day. Thanks for joining the stream. Again, please drop a comment on any video with your questions, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Have a beautiful day.